Welcome to Your Unapologetic Life, the podcast. I'm Morgan Barkus, your body confidence coach, with a unique blend of education and experience. With degrees in psychology and marriage and family therapy, coupled with over a decade of working as an exotic dancer as well as an exotic dance and fitness instructor, I'm here to guide you on a transformative journey. If you're ready to break free from societal norms and embrace your authentic self, you're in the right place. Tune in for insightful conversations and empowering strategies that will help you rediscover your confidence. As a special gift to you, I'm offering an exclusive Lose the Midlife Belly guide. All you have to do is visit morganbarkus.com and subscribe to my email list. Let's dive into this episode. One of my favorite mentors is Marie Forleo. She's an online entrepreneur who helps other online entrepreneurs build their businesses. And she says all the time, simplify to amplify. Now, she's meaning it in terms of marketing and business. I carry that with me in my life as well. I have learned that simplifying is the best way to amplify. And simple is what I want in my life at this point. I don't want complicated. I don't want to buy a lot of things. I don't want to have to take a lot of things. I don't want to have to carry around a lot of things. Is this resonating? And this could have a very general meaning. What I mean in particular is diet and exercise. I am a teenager of the 90s. I was in my 20s in the early 2000s. I feel like there were so many fad diets, and there were pushing ephedra and diet pills. There were energy drinks, and it was the boom of different kinds of workouts. It seemed like not a lot of people liked to work out. So it was becoming all these different kinds of workouts and different kinds of boutique fitness gyms and studios, etc. And I tried it all except Pilates. I never tried Pilates. I even went to a bar class once as a favor, and it was the longest 60 minutes of my entire life. Took a spin class once, didn't like that at all. I was like, I have to be on this bike for the entire hour? I don't get to like move around and do different stuff? Not my jam. Anyway, I tried all the things and my weight fluctuated so much, and I used food to regulate my emotions, which also was really unhealthy. I was a hot mess. And as I got older, there was a desire to simplify. And for a while, I went down to bare bones. And I mean that in terms of when I was younger, it was any supplement I heard about, I would try. I would do all the things. I would try all the things just because someone said this was good and it would burn fat, or this was great because it did this. And I was taking so many different supplements. It was exhausting, really, the list. And then I think about all the different kinds of diets. I mean, in the 90s, it was fat free everything. Well, then we realized there was just tons of sugar in it to replace fat because we actually, when you think way back, you think 70s, in the 50s, like people were eating full fat butter. They were drinking full fat milk. They were eating meat and potatoes. It was really basic, and it was high fat, high protein of the earth, if you will. And when I was in my 30s, I was having a lot of issues with food intolerances and found out after going to a food allergist to figure out what in the heck was going on, because I was like picking up weight. My energy level was in the trash can, and I just thought, wow, I'm trying to be a vegan here because it's supposed to be healthy. Like, these are the swings I would take. Like, I am from a Polish family. We are meat and potatoes all the way. I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin. My dad would, when I was really young, my dad butchered, we had chickens, pigs, cows. Like, we were eating farm raised food. And I grew up in a really healthy family. My parents are in their 70s and still super healthy. And neither of them are on any medications. I'm not on any medications. And that's how I grew up eating. And it wasn't until I tried all these fad diets that I became unhealthy and I picked up weight and I just didn't know what was going on. And I thought, I got to go back to the basics. And I stopped taking the crazy amount of supplements I was taking. And I went back to more of a meat and potatoes, get your fruits in diet. I thought, I'm not eating it unless it comes from the earth. And that's what I'm going to do. Because you think too, like when the 90s, I remember when I was coaching at Orange Theory Fitness out in California, and social media wasn't huge back then. Now you're like inundated with stories about what to eat and what not to eat. And, there's a lot of theories out there. And I do believe you have to play around and figure out what's best for your body. I will say the women I work with, we prioritize protein. It's fruits, it's vegetables. We're not following the don't eat fruit because it's has sugar in it. Yeah, it has sugar in it and it's of the earth. It's healthy. Anything that is one ingredient, eat it. Fruits, vegetables, chicken, halibut. If it is that, to me that is super healthy. It's the processed stuff. That's where we get it's the snacking. And most snacks, if I snack, it's going to be a hard-boiled egg and some cheese, and really good quality cheese. Um anyway, so I'm thinking back to when I was coaching at Orange Theory and I did my best to stay informed about food and what was healthy and you know how soy milk was a thing for a while. And then, because she was telling me, like, I'm just not dropping any weight, and I let her know. I said, we kinda went through some of the things that she was eating and drinking on a daily basis, and she mentioned soy milk, and I said, "Well, that's the first thing that has to go. Drink whole milk. If you're gonna put whole milk or any kind of milk in a coffee or whatever, cereal. I don't think you should eat cereal, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, I said, do not use soy milk. Do not. And now there's the oat milk and the almond milk and the Coke. No, none of it. It is all processed. It's got the sugars and it's got all kinds of weird stuff in it. Now, a milk is just one ingredient, milk, and it's just, and the more whole you go, the less weird ingredients in it, the less it's processed. And it's really important to stay away from processed things. And she was blown away. She's like, wait, what? I thought soy milk was supposed to be healthy. I said, girl, where have you been? That was in the 90s. We are now in the 2000s, 10s. What year was that? That was like 2015. And I said, get rid of that soy milk immediately. It is now, studies have shown that it actually increases your estrogen, which is probably why you're picking up weight. Anyway, so it's just, it really is simple. The more simple you eat, the better off you are. Then it comes down to supplements. At one point, I thought, you know what? This is crazy. The amount of money, because I did the things. Let me tell you, I did the things. Um, because I like to be around people and I have been in sales positions before, people tried to recruit me for network marketing. I think network marketing is one of the worst things ever created. Do not come at me ever with your network marketing stuff. So, just putting that out there right now. I know some people find success. Good for them. Stay away from me. I did it. I never sold, and I got sucked into multiple companies for their supplements because this is going to do that, and this pill's going to do this, and this tea is going to do that. Oh, so I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all this stuff. And I got to a point in my 30s where I was like, what am I doing? I don't know that this is actually doing anything. And nothing is a magic pill. Nothing is a miracle tea. What am I doing? Um, and put this powder in this water and drink it every day, and you're gonna glow from the inside out. Yeah, okay, sure. Really, all you got to do is squeeze a lemon, put it in some hot water. Talk about simple. And now there's no chemicals and no sugars and no nothing. You just like there are things that people are selling that if you just did it in the most simple form, do that. Um, anyway, I just cut out everything. I thought, you know what? I don't know what's working and what isn't. I'm done. I'm done with every single supplement. I'm gonna drink as much water. I go for like back in the day, it used to be a gallon, but who has time for that? Um, Too many potty stops. But now I'm more of like a half a gallon of water a day kind of gal on a good day. And so I drink the water, hydrate your body. Is what makes you glow from the inside out. That is what keeps you regular. So lots of water. Sometimes, like I said, fresh lemon juice and some hot water in the morning. That helps your digestion. That helps your skin. And it's so simple and it's so cheap. Buy a lemon, cut it in half. It lasts 2 days. You know, um, there are just some really simple things that you can do. And I think the more simple, the better. Now, once you get into midlife as a woman, there are some hormonal shifts. And I'll be the first to tell you, I have a good girlfriend of mine who's like, I got my hormones checked and it was really helpful. You might want to look into that. And so I went to a clinic that was specifically for women. And you have to do your homework. Like your everyday doctor, bless their hearts, you have to advocate for yourself because they do the basic stuff and they do not go above and beyond. Try to find yourself a nurse practitioner or a woman's clinic where you might have to pay more or you might have to pay out of pocket, and they're going to dig deeper. They're going to I think there's like generic I mean, the medical our health system is for profit. So they're trying to get you on stuff, sell you stuff, make your numbers look a certain way so they can put you on statins or who knows what else. It's all a racket. And so I think, this is just my opinion. And I've worked in med device sales. So I never sold pharma because I just ethically could never get into that. And I do. I think it's a racket and they try to put you on as many things as they can because they are selling you something. They're not going to let it sit on the shelf and not sell it. They're going to try to sell it. And whoever they can sell it to, great. And so who knows if the numbers are accurate when they're running certain tests and always get second opinions and things like that. As a woman, your hormones, hello, biology, they're going to change in midlife, right? So, this girlfriend of mine who suggested it, I went and found a clinic that works with women and they ran blood panels and this, that, and the other. And they really took a deeper dive into all my levels. And it was like, oh, okay. So I could use some iron. I will use that supplement. So again, I eliminated all supplements for years. I'm like, I'm going to let my body do its thing. I am going to nourish my body with fruits and vegetables and protein and sunlight and good sleep and water and functional working out, functional movement. And I wasn't terrible off, and I knew there was something off. And when I went, she was like, "Your testosterone is crazy low and this is normal. You're, getting into your 40s and mid 40s, and here's some natural, ways to help that." And it did help. And she said, "Up your weightlifting, up your protein, and take this supplement." And I did, and it helped. And so there are certain things that you have to supplement because your body is changing and can't or won't produce certain things at certain ages. So work on that too. And 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 like I said, when I went off of all supplements, it was nice to just give my body a break. And then I had to, if I wanted to supplement some of the things I did, even like I said, iron, and I needed a B vitamin. I do fish oil. There's certain DHEA, and I am not a licensed professional. I'm not telling you how much to take of what. Go somewhere and get your blood work done and get some panels done and from a professional that can help you with your levels and let you know where you are at. And that was a game changer for me and my attitude and moodiness, if you will. I was having some motivation issues, energy issues, and I was like, "What is going on with me? Why am I?" And so once I got on the appropriate supplements, I wasn't over supplementing. I wasn't just taking anything and everything because I heard it was good. It was very specific to me, and I still keep it simple. I only take what was recommended, and I'm not taking everything. I didn't, somebody recently said, someone said, matcha helps burn fat, and it's like, yeah, sure. Who says? Maybe it did for one person, and you don't know that that's what did it. So anyway, it's just you have to be a bit skeptical and really take care of yourself the best way you can and make it specific to you, because someone that's out there just marketing any old thing, you don't know if it's good. And at the end of the day, truly simplify to amplify. Same with moving your body. I was the girl doing the CrossFit and doing I did Orange Theory for years, and I did all kinds of different workouts. You couldn't get me to more than one spin class. I took a spin class once and I thought, I got to be on this bike this entire time, just here on this bike for an hour. That was the first and last of those I ever took. I took a peer bar class once as a favor, and that was terrible. I didn't like it. I need to move around. I need to push some weights and pull some weights and things like that. So in my older age, I'm not old, and I'm older. I'm now in my mid 40s, and my body has had injuries, surgeries. Um I don't hold on to muscle mass like I used to. And I look at pictures. I have a picture um I sent someone once, and I'm sort of like on all fours, and my triceps, I was like, "Wow, Morgan, where did those muscles go?" And so, um, I don't hold on to muscle like I used to. It's just that's age, and that's what's gonna happen, and you can do the best you can. So, that's why for me, keeping it simple is prioritizing protein, hydrating your body with water, and, really functional movement. So I don't do a bunch of jumping. Oh, and I miss burpees, but I don't do jumping, and I don't do high intensity anything. I don't run. No, I am walking, walking, walking. Get those steps in, especially on inclines. If you're on a treadmill, it really helps your legs and your buns stay tight and strong, and it burns fat. I mean, incline work really does. You don't have to be running. When I see people running and they look miserable, and I think, why are you doing that? You literally look like you hate this. Why are you doing it? And when you think about staying fit, it's not complicated. It's really simple. Our bodies, you need to push, pull, lift. That's it. Push, pull, lift. Sit up, sit down. Get up, get up. I mean, get down. It's being flexible, and the more simple you keep it, the more consistent you can be. That would be my argument. Keep it simplify, or keep it simplify. Keep it simple to amplify, which means here's the biggest thing in all of this. In my opinion, it's consistency. The more simple you keep it, the more consistent you will be. If you in your mind are like, Morgan, all I need to do every day is walk 10 minutes. That's it. If I feel like doing more than that, cool. It's that simple. And if you keep it that simple, you will stay consistent. And some days you'll do more and some days you won't. That's all right. You moved your body. It was simple. And if you say to yourself, I'm going to eat from the earth, protein, veggies, fruit. Is it of the earth? If it's not, no thanks. And that's it. And I think it fluctuates too, depending on the time of the month as a woman. It just, that is what it is during PMS. your body is literally craving more carbs and more calories. Well, guess what? Carbs don't have to be bread and pasta and rice. Nope. I don't eat any of that stuff. Very rarely. And for me, carbs are veggies. Carbs is fruit. Carbs are in pretty much everything. And so yes, during PMS, I'm going to eat more. I notice I eat more times during the day, and it's just more fruit, more veggies. And I really try to stay on top of my protein every single meal because it's so satiating and it helps maintain that muscle mass. Anyway, I really honestly, I was doing my yoga today and I thought it's so crazy bananas simple. And it took me years and years and years to figure it out. And I want to share with other women who are frustrated. They don't have a lot of time. I don't cook. I Uber Eats or eat out almost every single day. I know, huge waste of money. I could do it at home, but I don't want to. And so I spend a lot of money eating out. Um, and I keep it simple. What I order, it's simple, it's healthy because you can. There is a way to do it. You just need to know how to order, what to eat. And then you can eat out every single day of the week like I do. Um, Working out, you can do it every single day. Keep it simple. I mean, at this point in our life, we don't want complicated. We don't have the time. We don't have the emotional and mental capacity. We want simple. And the more simple you keep it, the more consistent you are, and the more it's amplified. See how that all ties in? Because if you keep it super simple and then you're consistent because of that, then you amplify, which means you just feel more energetic. You feel more fit. It's almost effortless to keep your weight in check because of how simple you kept it. And now you've been consistent. And now you're like, this is so easy. And it works. Telling you. And like I said, I for years read so many books and tried so many diets and did all kinds of different workouts and tried so many supplements. And it really is so simple. And that's why I packaged it in my 90-day coaching program because I want to share what took me years of trying to figure out and the yo-yo weight stuff and wasting money on this and putting too much money into that or time into that. And it's so simple. And I have a friend of mine who wanted me to help her write a workout program. I said, I will. I can do this for you. And I need you to believe me because when you get this and you see how simple it is, you're not going to think it works because we are so used to people telling us, well, you got to do this and you got to spend this amount of time in the gym and you got to count your calories and track your food. And how many macros are you eating, Morgan? Do you track your macros? No, no, never, not even. When I was anorexic, I tracked food like a psycho, and it was a horrible, horrible time in my life, a hideous time in my life. And now I'm free. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. And it's so simple that I don't pick up weight because of it. And I work out every single day. And some days it's only a 10-minute walk. And some days I'm feeling fancy and I get in the weight room for 20 minutes. And even what I do in the weight room is simple. I don't have a bunch of complicated moves and I got to come up with workouts. No, it's simple. It's functional. It just works. So anyway, I say all that to say, I want to share it with you. I have a 90-day coaching program you can sign up for. You can schedule a call with me and we can see if it's a good fit for you. If you're ready to commit yourself to working with somebody for 90 days, that's 12 sessions together, and figure out how to simplify to amplify. You can also go to morganbarkus.com. Just sign up for my email list and you'll get my free guide that I put together. It's obviously not as thorough as the 90-day coaching program, and it gives you an idea of how I have simplified the years and years of all the reading and my own trial and error with the supplements and workouts and all the things, and just put it in one quick infographic. So if you go to morganbarkus.com and sign up for my email list, you'll see that there, and you can download it immediately, and you'll have that free guide to get an idea of what I do on a day-to-day basis to simplify to amplify. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Your Unapologetic Life. I hope you found inspiration and practical tips to help you embrace your unique beauty. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with at least one woman in your life that you care about. Hit that follow button, and if this episode resonates with you, take a moment to rate and review. Your support helps us reach more women on their journeys to confidence. And remember, for even more resources, including my exclusive Lose the Midlife Belly guide filled with my personal tips and tricks, visit morganbarkus.com and subscribe to my email list. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to connect with you in the next episode.